Welcome to another episode of Africa on the Move in partnership with DW. I am Funmi Unuajefe. This program focuses on the stories of people in Africa and how their innovations, ideas, and action impact on lives on the continent. On this episode of Africa on the Move, we'll be focusing on migration. Migration is currently at the center of disagreements between the mainly poor-sending countries and the richer receiving countries. Today, the world is more connected than ever. Information, commodities, and money flow rapidly across the national boundaries, a phenomenon often referred to as globalization. Sub-Saharan African nations account for 8 of the 10 fastest growing international migrant populations since 2010. According to a Pew Research Center analysis of the latest United Nations data on the number of immigrants or people living outside their birth country. So we start with Nigeria, where many young women are trafficked to major European countries, convinced that they are bewitched and they're enslaved as prostitutes by network of traffickers. Let's take a look.
Prostitution is not a work. We should stop it.
It's thought between 200,000 and 400,000 women across Europe are forced to work as prostitutes. An increasing number of them are Nigerian, like the woman we just heard. They're lured to Europe with false promises and end up in backstreet brothels or red light districts in cities like Lyon, Madrid, or here in Turin. We join volunteers from a Catholic charity who try to get the girls off the street. 9 Nigerian women currently live in this house in Italy. We can't use their real names. As recognized victims of sexual abuse, they won't be deported, at least for now. Kate arrived in Europe a year ago.
They told me they were going to find a job for me, that there is a lot of job here. But they didn't tell me it's on the streets. The job is on the streets.
For many women, their troubles begin on their way to Europe.
I was raped twice. When I was in Nigeria, the person that buggered me to Kano, and the other time was when I was in the desert. The soldiers, they also did the same.
Networks of people smugglers traffic the women. The networks are headed by so-called madams, women who enslave other women. Having been promised a great life, the women are abused by their captors when they arrive until they give in. The charity we're observing is using an online campaign to try to raise awareness about the plight of the women. Katia is one of the volunteers.
It's very common when the girls tell us that groups of men go to them to rape them together, 1 to 3 at the same moment. They ask them to do many strange things, to pay them like nothing. Like a Nigerian woman on the road is paid 10 euro. You don't buy pizza with Coca-Cola for 10 euro.
Some women have sex with up to 20 men a night. They have to pay off their huge debts. These can total as much as 40,000 euros for the journey, as well as for food, clothes, or cosmetics. But if they go to the police, the women risk deportation. That would shatter their dream of finding a much better life in Europe. In the end, they no longer know whom to trust. Sometimes even the women's own families turn against them.
It used to happen many times that the families suggest to the girls to go back to prostitution. In that case, we understand that they have been sold from their own families.
Katia and many other volunteers here believe the women can still have a better future. She helps them get their papers and report the abusers to police. The women are still terrified of breaking their silence, but they also want to see the traffickers arrested.
People, please be careful when someone offers you greener pastures on the other side of the world. Our next story is on returning migrants who migrated illegally and have returned home to Guinea. Listen to this story.
Early morning in a chicken farm near Conakry. Mamadou Tulel Bari is working with a project for returnee migrants. In 2016, he attempted the illegal journey to Europe, but he only made it to Niger. He had seen many of his friends die along the way. He himself had been tortured by human traffickers and thrown in jail by soldiers. After he was released, the International Organization for Migration flew him home.
After I returned, many people made fun of me because I didn't make it. But I felt relieved. I'm back home now and no one is oppressing me. I live well. Back there, we had problems with the military and we were discriminated against.
A total of 300 people work for the EU-funded project, which was launched by IOM and a local NGO. The most important aspect, its members are made up of equal numbers of returnees and local residents. This is to ensure that everyone benefits from the project and there is no resentment within the community.
It's already hard enough for the kids who come back. We need to motivate them, but they also need to accept the others.
Women also play a very important role in the reintegration of the returnees. Our own children are not among the returnees, but these young people could easily be our children. That's why we take care of them. My little brother, for example, also tried to leave, but criminals caught and castrated him. He has nothing left. Now he's like a woman. The boys here have all had similar experiences. That's why we need to support them. We are like mothers to them. Soon the first chickens and eggs will be sold. With 300 participants, their first payment will probably be low, but at least they will gain some perspective. Many young people in Guinea have lost hope. Well-paid jobs are difficult to find, and there aren't enough career opportunities. For many, escaping to Europe seems like the only way out. To counteract this, the Employment Office and the IOM have interviewed young people in Conakry.
As a result of the interviews, we can determine who is most likely to leave the country illegally. We then selected them for a total of 21 projects, such as the chicken farm, and support them.
Other young people will hopefully be spared Tulel's terrible experience. He now lives with relatives in Conakry and is studying political science. For now, at least, he has given up his dream of traveling to Europe.
All of the returnees and all of my friends warned me before I left, but I had to experience it for myself to believe it. All I would say to my friends now is to not even try it. It destroys you. Even if you do survive, you either feel so ashamed that you didn't make it or you come back crazy.
But whether or not he can really stop his friends from leaving remains uncertain. The IOM estimates that around 15,000 Guineans are still waiting to be repatriated.
Like I said earlier on, sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side. We have a similar story of returnees being helped in Niger.
These young men are travelling through Niger, but they're not taking the usual route north. Exhausted, broke and disappointed at having failed to get to Europe, they're now heading south, trying to get home. Workers at the UN Transit Centre check their stuff for sharp objects. It doesn't take long. No one has much with them. Here they have somewhere to stop, something to eat and somewhere to sleep. Many arriving here have had an awful time. Some have even been held in prison on the way.
They hit us and treated us badly. We were only given food once a day. It was hard.
Here they can recover from their failed attempt to reach Europe and get ready to return home. Officials from the International Organization for Migration collect data about where the migrants have come from and which route they took. Many have lost everything on the way. Da Ouda Mama Oudu says many people still want to go to Europe. But an increasing number are failing to get there.
There have been more migrants returning recently. The problem has been increasing over the last 3 months. Just today, we have taken in 53 migrants here.
Some run out of money before they even make it to the Mediterranean and are forced to head back. Abu Kamara left Liberia 2 months ago. He's pleased to have got out with his life. Now he just wants to go home.
The thing I saw on the road is very difficult. For now, there is no one. We make this adventure, then you succeed. Either you die after days to go in Tripoli, either you die on the road or you come back.
It can take weeks to get the documents they need to go home. They stay in the centre to avoid people smugglers who might pressure them to try their luck again.
Bonjour.
Sometimes migrants ask the impossible of staff here.
Bien, tout le monde? Okay.
Monica Shiriak has only been here a few weeks. She's approached by a deaf-mute man asking for help to find a job for his friend who's got to Italy. She can't possibly do anything. Well, most of them went to Europe illegally, on the boats, through the desert, with smugglers. We can't really say to people here, go on, try it. That's why we also try to reintegrate the people who come here, so they don't attempt the journey again. But can they persuade the would-be migrants to stay at home? Many still want to go to Europe, despite having failed this time around.
If I want to go to Europe, I want to go the legal process. I don't want to go on legal process. But I want to use the legal process to go to Europe.
Few want to try the smugglers' routes again. For now, they hope they can find jobs and that their families will accept them when they get home.
Our next story is on Makayambo Ngano from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a journalist who had to flee her home all the way to Germany.
You know, sometimes when you decide that I'm leaving Kinshasa to go to that place, when you decide so, and then you can just take care of everything. But when you flee, it's just like you living. It's just like you leave a part of your body. I am Makayambo Ngano. I came from Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. I'm a journalist. To be a journalist in Congo, by the time I was there in Congo, it was not so easy. First, about our security. You know, you just expose yourself. Everyone knows who you are, whatever, where you stay. And when something happening, really, they are beyond you. There where I was working, did have some problem, political problem. Then I just flee from Kinshasa to South Africa because my husband was already that side as a refugee. To my own country, I was just feeling at home. But when I went to South Africa, it's just like, yeah, I need to do so. I need to be careful because I'm not in my own country. We saw people in our own eyes to be killed. We were attacked ourselves.
We left South Africa for the very same reason again.
Political problem.
For very same reason again. See, what we have fled from our country had followed us in South Africa. When you don't feel safe, you are threatened, you are obliged to leave, and we left. We left.
Since March of this year, we have been granted a status of refugee here in Germany, and then They even told us that we're giving you that status because you were already a refugee, you know. It was really stressful, and then we need to stay in the bad conditions also, if I can say so, with some people you don't know, you sleeping in the same place, and then you need to do so, and you must wait for the food they're giving you. If you miss that food, you miss. What I like it here is that integration. The integration, really, I did like it. They integrate you, you must just learn the language, and besides, they're just teaching you how is the country, how the country is ruled, with the culture, about everything. Really, that integration is what I like it. And it's just like they make you also to feel at home, if you want to be integrated. Because there is others, really, they say, what is that? I don't want to, you know.
We'll take a break and then we'll be right back. Welcome back. Now we'll take a look at the lives of other migrants living in Germany as well.
Every time when you move the side to side. Remember, I came from Congo, I was in South Africa, I was in Sweden, today I'm here in Germany. As a Christian, whatever you go, you must search where is God. We're always going to find out our own people. That's why really I can see I'm just feeling at home when I'm going to the church. I am Makaya Bungano. I came from Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. I'm a journalist. One day I meet a lady called Regina. We met because they are the one who are just like a volunteer, giving us some course of a Dutch course by the camp where we were. That lady was just asking us if we were Christian, and then she was saying that if we want to visit a church.
So your church is a bit different to the, let's say, traditional German church. How would you say it's different? In what way?
Yes, we, as you see, we focus on worship. We sing a lot. We like to invite people, refugees, as well as other people around. We invite young people and children as well to come to our church.
It's like I don't understand everything, but I understand what is going on. And especially, I found the church with just talking about the language I want to learn. And it just making me to be happy and then to just come.
Patience is a very positive person, easy to communicate with her, so all of my friends easily came in touch with her, and so it's really a blessing for my family as well.
She's like my family. My family, they are not here. I'm here with my husband, you know. Every Sunday when I'm here, when I have time, I also go to the Congolese church.
We are very, very hot. That's why she come here to dance, because we dance, we move.
Yeah. Is it like a church in Congo? Is it?
Of course, yes.
Yes.
For me, it's just really it just puts me in a good mood. And to see my own people, they're preaching in English, they're singing, they're preaching in French, they're singing in French, Lingala, they're singing in Kikongo, English also, even in Germany.
Would you say you found, like, you feel at home now in Germany? Like,
I'm feeling at home.
Home away from home.
Really, I also integrate because I'm an open person. I talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. I don't mind who you are, but as long as it's a person, a human being, we just talk.
Thank you for joining us on Africa on the Move. See you next week.